go right into a warm-up. Have you guys ever heard of stick mobility? You can use a PVC pipe. I'm using the end of a broomstick. I don't know what this was to. I think it was to a broom. Take one end, wide stance. One foot's going to turn face forward, face the wall, and this one's going to actually turn out. So my toe goes out. This one, the broomstick's going to go into like the arch of my foot, and then I'm going to decide to do both hands because I want to feel it in my lats on both sides. So I'm going to just grab the stick and then hip hinge down, almost like you're doing a good morning. Try to keep your hips square. Drop back. You'll feel this in your hamstring. If you're like me and you're really tight all the time, and you don't do this enough. And then you can also try to drive your head through the window into your arms. Like this. Really get it into your back. Turn your feet forward and then drive this into, you probably should find something that can hold the stick there, but you can kind of shoot your hips back, same thing, and then you can feel it on both sides. Turn your feet out. And for me, I feel like that normally hits more into like where my glutes meet my my hamstrings, right in my tie-ins. I feel a little bit deeper there. If you allow yourself to kind of sink into the ball joint here and kind of put some tension on it, and almost like you're pushing into the broomstick, push down, you'll really feel it in that. Will allow you to kind of turn and rotate more into whatever it is that you're working into, whether it's your shoulders or your hips or your back. So it's good for spine health. Put it into the little nooks of my elbows, and then you can, for me, I really enjoy the one, I believe I showed you guys where I kind of lean forward and get a nice twist. I feel this always in my, my hips. And I feel like it opens up my chest. I feel it in my sides. And it even like kind of from my sides goes all the way, travels all the way down my lower back and into my glutes. Another one you can do is the one that I showed you guys with the band. So you use the stick instead. So you kind of pull the bar apart as you come overhead. Your fists are pulling away from each other. Really kind of opens up your chest. And then you can also slowly widen your grip or shorten your grip, whatever feels like you need to kind of work into. Like I said, if you want to work into like driving your head through the window and depressing your shoulder blades down, this is a great movement. If you want to work on going further back and kind of opening up that chest. So, great tool. Another one would be just a regular barbell. For me, I don't have Olympic-sized barbells here, so I just use my, my padded one. Placing the barbell down in front of you or on this side, it really doesn't matter. You're going to just kind of roll it into that crease and try to find, for me, I never really, right here, this is like the spot, right where the quad. And you kind of want to just use your hands and roll it like a roller pin, or you can hold it down and just push into it like you're scraping it. But you want to just kind of find spots that are tender or tight. Have the leg that I'm working on, I like to kind of bring out to the side because I feel like it puts that tension already on that tendon. So it's already tight. So I can, in my opinion, I can kind of find where it's already, like right now I can already tell where I need to work into it. It's like, you'll know what I mean. It's almost like a thick rope. You'll find that tendon pretty quickly, and you can kind of just roll. I like to just roll into it. I feel like scraping is almost too intense. Honestly, you could probably use that same broomstick if that's all that you have, or the PVC pipe, and do the same thing. You're just trying to find areas where you know that you need to loosen up. At the top of your leg, so I'll do that now. It's the same thing. I'll just kind of find areas. Right there's on top of the quad. I always feel like I have a big ball. Kind of massage into it. And again, you're not rolling this all the way down and back. Is what you want to do is find those spots and then find, like for me, this one is about 1 inch thick. So I'm just going to go back and forth on that 1 inch and really apply the pressure. Remember to breathe out the pain. All it is a pretty much a foam roller on steroids. You actually have handles for it, so you are able to control it rather than just pushing your body weight into it. You can actually add more pressure, and All I'm going to do for this one today, because I'm just doing the lower body, is I'm going to do exactly what I was doing with that, but instead I'm doing it with this guy. So I do actually feel like because it's able to roll, I can kind of find them easier. But not everyone has this, so I just wanted to kind of introduce it. I just like to do it myself. I'll just lay my leg straight. I like to normally do it on the sides. I'll lay my leg straight and then apply the pressure that way. And I don't actually feel any areas, like right here maybe, but oh yeah, get into that band. Your palms facing up and apply it that way because you tend to have more force. And then just find same thing. Here's the spot. And you don't have to just roll back and forth. You can kind of like row into it or scrape it. Just all you're trying to do is break that tissue up. Another tool you can use is a kettlebell, and what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to go into sitting like a toddler and just sink my butt down. Try to have a nice controlled position so you're not like wobbling. If you are, this is when you're going to want to grab either a kettlebell or even a countertop, depending on how low you can go naturally, and you can allow that weight to kind of help you to sink better into it. Just because it's that counterweight rather than wanting to fall back onto your heel. But you're really just trying to open up your hips here. This is a good tool too, but you can also use a countertop. Your palms to kind of push on the bottom of the countertop and force you down a little bit lower and kind of feel where it is that you're stopping and then push past that. Alright, I'm only going to show one more because I feel like this video has gone on for too long. But the next move I'm going to do, it's really uncomfortable. In a few ways. One, in public, you don't want people to really see you do it because it's a little awkward. And then also, it's just uncomfortable. It's typically a way that we don't move, so your body's going to feel tight. So you're going to go on all fours, and just as you would turn your toes in and kind of drop your butt onto your heels if you were going to go into a child's pose for yoga, like this, you're going to do the same thing, except for you're going to turn your toes out. So what you're going to do, it kind of does the external rotation in your knees. So I tend to go a little bit wider. You can adjust how close and how far your knees are depending on how you feel it into your hips. So from here, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to drop your hips back. Try to keep that spine from doing anything funky like popping out or tucking too much in. You want to feel this in the hips. This is a really good hip opener. Walking forward. And then I tend to, when I drop my hips down, because you want to feel this in the hip flexor here, I tend to think about just, you squeeze your glutes together, drive into the floor, and I actually tend to straighten out my legs so that I can use my toes as well, or my heels and my feet, to kind of push into that ground and feel more tension into my hips.